It was announced yesterday that Joe Rogan will not be commentating at UFC 318, and the MMA community is very pissed off at Joe Rogan. And usually I'm on the side of the MMA community over the UFC 90% of the time. But this is one where like I don't get overdoing it. We're saying two different things. We're contradicting. Either we don't want Joe Rogan commentating, or we want Joe Rogan commentating. But and I'm just gonna start with the comments on this um Instagram post. MMA junkie Paul Felder. Paul Felder will join UFC 318 commentary. So you got Anik Felder, DC, pretty common commentary group. Some people want Bisbing. Who's gonna let us know if someone's whack is compromised? Okay, that's like funny. Um, but where did they go? Yeah, this right here, right? This is one of damn kind of sad we won't see Rogan interview DP for his final fight. I think that's kind of disrespectful, honestly. DP is a legend. The card may not be the best, but respect what this man's done. How is it that Joe Rogan not going to this event is automatically disrespectful to Dustin Poirier? Do we forget that he runs the biggest podcast in the world? He uploads however many episodes. He has a quota to get a certain amount of episodes done every month, every week, every, bi-monthly, whatever it is. Joe Rogan hasn't been a main commentator in years. And he's missing more events than ever. Right? This is one of the articles. Ugh. Where's Joe Rogan? Fans blast disrespectful and unexplained absence for Dustin Poirier's retirement fight at UFC 318. Joe Rogan doesn't travel to international events, so it's uncommon to see him replaced at the commentary table when the promotion heads overseas. But it's unusual for Rogan to miss a stateside pay per view, which is why fans are scratching their head after it was revealed that Paul Felder, a commentary mainstay for Apex cards, will be joining John Anik and Daniel Cormier for UFC 318 this weekend in New Orleans. Fans on Felder's Instagram page called the absence disrespectful because UFC 318 marks the final fight for headlining attraction and hometown hero Dustin Poirier. The Diamond will rematch back to Hallway for the BMF belt in the 5 round main event. Early reports have rapper Lil Wayne walking the Louisianian, oh my, to the Octagon on Saturday, June 19th, Saturday night, inside Smoothie King Center in the Pelican State. It's in New Orleans, his hometown, and okay, what the, weird. It's in New Orleans, his hometown, and the UFC are going there specifically for Dustin Poirier, and that's incredible. Former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping said on YouTube that could be the fairy tale farewell to an or that could be the farewell tale farewell to an unbelievable career of one of everyone's favorite fighters. I cannot read, but it brings a lot of pressure. It brings a lot of anxiety. You got friends and family. They're all in town. They all want to see you perform. you're like the local hero. It brings a lot of pressure. I'm telling you right now, I've been there many times. Every time I fought in England, it was a little bit more stressful. But I also was undefeated, and undefeated in England because he wanted to do the people justice. He wanted to make them proud, and it pushes you in the training camp. It's going to be a tremendous. It's going to be what the. Why? I don't know if it appears on the OBS. Is random fucking things you probably want. Anyways, it's going to be a tremendous, and it will be the final time we get to see Dustin Poirier compete inside the octagon. But I don't know if he's going to be the winner. Listen, never doubt Dustin Poirier, but never doubt Max Holloway. Yes, Max Holloway was just knocked out against Ilya Poirier, so that could present some problems. That could weaken the chin. Sometimes people get cracked, that they get knocked out, and then never do the same again. Or it could have a fire under his ass, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to show the people I'm coming to Louisiana and to whoop some ass. And honestly, at this point, I don't know which way it's going down. Me neither. Me neither. I need to get my predictions done for tomorrow. But you know, hearing that from the media, hearing what Michael Bisping said about this situation, this is the last thing that I want to go through to make you understand why Joe Rogan is not the guy that will be commentating Dustin Poirier's last fight. Dustin Poirier will be on the Joe Rogan podcast probably within, I would say, at least a month and a half of retiring. I guarantee you, he lives in Louisiana. Louisiana will be on the podcast in no time. And then we'll get to hear more of what Dustin Poirier was going through during the camp. Looking back at his career. Again, cool. It would have been really good to have Joe Rogan there. But this is why this won't be the case. Um, Not gonna read that. Daniel Cormier calling Dustin Poirier's retirement fight. Daniel Cormier will be on commentary duty for Dustin Poirier's last fight. Cormier told MMA Junkie that this might be the most difficult fight to call in his broadcasting career. Excuse me. It's one that I hate that we're having to do it because Dustin's been so important to martial arts. But everybody has their time. I'm lucky enough to be there when it happens and be right next to the octagon or in the octagon when it happens. I've had to do some pretty emotional ones for my career, but I think this will be probably the hardest because I met Dustin way back after I beat Jeff Monson. I ran into him at a gym in Lafayette, and to see what he's become, it's outstanding. Everybody has the time. I'm just happy Dustin understands when his number has been called and when it's time to walk away, that he can be comfortable with the decision he's making. He's got the red carpet rolled out for him, fighting at home. It doesn't get any better than that. Very, very, very good heartfelt message. Well, heartfelt statement from Daniel Cormier. And revealing right there that, hey, they've known, they both grew up in Louisiana. They've known each other most, if not their entire careers. Well, I mean, at least 4 years career. Well, like, again, would be big to have Joe Rogan there. But if you were Dustin Poirier, would it not be cool to have the guy that you've known since day one since you jumped in the game, since you got to the UFC, have that guy be the one to give you your farewell. I don't know. Like, it makes sense to me. I'm not the biggest Daniel Cormier fan on commentary. Loved him fighting. His commentary sometimes. We know the issues. But again, he does a better job than I do. I'm just, I assure will palsy. I stutter and just ramble into a microphone all day. But yeah, I get that fans want Joe Rogan to be there for that moment. But when you look at it through the eyes of Dustin, through DC, let them have their moment. Whether you like it or not, that's the moment that they want to do. And yeah, man, it's only sinking in now. Like, this is really the last Poirier fight. The last however many years watching him fight, watching his fights back multiple times, war after war after war. This isn't my farewell video. I'll do it after the fight. We have the full perspective of Dustin Poirier's entire career. Maybe I'll do a slideshow on that. I don't know. Um, but yeah, that makes more sense than Joe Rogan just hating Dustin Poirier, refusing to do it. Joe Rogan has other priorities. Joe Rogan, UFC is no longer his number one priority. Behind his family, behind his family. His number one priority is what he's paid $100 million over 5 years to do, or however much it was. The guy has tripled his net worth off of that podcast alone. Like, he made his money after not being paid for a single event, for however many events, interviewing fighters for free, going on, ESPN back in the day, and arguing and defending mixed martial arts when the sport wasn't even legal in majority of the states, most countries. It's always been. That's what Joe Rogan has done for this organization. And I completely agree with the majority of people. Hey, his commentary right now isn't the best. Kind of repetitive, says the same thing, says some very obscure things that really makes no sense. But he's earned it. He's earned it. Same way Goldie, right? I don't know how many of you remember Mike Goldberg. I fucking miss that dude, man. I think it's an utter shame they got rid of him. Mike Goldberg was I liked him more than Joe Rogan. Completely pointing out that I would always just say all time favorite commentator, Mike Goldberg, and it's between him and Joe, right? But again, we are MMA fans. We view this sport through a screen or through a piece of paper we hand somebody as they walk into an arena. Joe Rogan is among the most famous people on earth. He has the biggest podcast in the world. We can have our fun trolling the shit out of Joe Rogan, but shitting on the dude who called how many Dustin Poirier fights, how many other retirement fights over the last 25 years, I don't fucking know. The MMA fan base is entitled. I just wanted to ramble about that. Let me know what you think down below. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Are you insulted that Joe Rogan will not be commentating Dustin Poirier's last fight? Or do you see, hey, different priorities now? He has his own business. He's chasing his own shit. And fuck it. He deserved it after being a full time commentator for over 20 years.